This is the Our Voice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Our Voice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Our Voice 360. Let's go! Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Our Voice 360, our perspective, our ways. I am Chad Baumgartner, 1/3 of the trio here. I have with me my man Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
And my man Mike Brown, the Don Dada.
Blessings.
With that, let's go ahead and get into it, Pete.
And as always, our show is brought to you by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
And if any of you, our listeners and viewers, if you're watching this or listening to this podcast and you want to give us some feedback on what you think about the show, what we should or shouldn't be doing, or what you would like to see, or if you would like to be a sponsor of the show, please do not hesitate to contact us at our email address at ourvoice360@gmail.com. That's ourvoice360@gmail.com. Okay, so what we talking about, fellas? What we getting into today?
Man, you know what we're getting into today. We have a transfer. We have a transfer of power.
Yes, we do.
In these United States, and
thank God.
A sigh of relief for sure, because like we were discussing off air, you know, it was every day with that guy. Every day we didn't know what was going to be said or what was going to happen, or you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And you don't, as a country, you don't want to be on those eggshells all the time. You know, it's stressful. Right. It's stressful not knowing when the leader of the country may just shoot off some nuclear missiles,
or just stir
the pot and just get something started. So it's a refreshing day today, knowing that, waking up that there's not going to be any type of craziness coming from the president of the United States, who is now Joseph R. Biden. And since we've had this transfer of power, fellas, what do we do as a people, as far as, you know, what do we do now? Since we don't have this confusion and things of that sort, what do we do now? How do we hold this new president's feet to the fire for issues when it comes to our people?
I would say by making sure that, you know, people are held accountable. Don't just talk the walk. I mean, just don't talk the talk. You got to walk the walk.
Right.
You know, you in there. I want you to show us why you're really in there.
Right.
I agree with Mike. And I would also admonish our people to remember the things that were said and the promises that he gave when he was on this campaign. Because if you remember, his campaign was dead until he hit South Carolina, and Representative Clyburn kind of resurrected him and got the black vote out there and got him over the top. Now, he did acknowledge that at his acceptance speech. He did. Mm-hmm. And that's great. Right. So now he's in office. I think the National Black Caucus needs to revisit the Black Agenda Plan. I don't know the official title, but I do know that it was sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk for the past 4 years, as with Trump, and it just sat there because they were in the majority. I do know that Ice Cube had a plan, and a lot of those bullet points in his plan was in that Black Agenda Plan that the National Black Caucus gave to Mitch McConnell and the past president. And it's still, like I said, it sat on his desk. So now with Biden in office, I'm really looking to see how much of that agenda he puts into place. Now, I will be patient because he's just been up there for a week, going on 2. So I will be patient, but I will be watching, and I admonish us as a people to watch what he does and see what promises he upholds.
Right.
And not only him, I'm looking for Kamala to make sure that he or that they uphold their promises. Because me personally, neither one was my pick. But because they are there, I congratulate them. I support them.
Right.
I want them to execute what they ran on, because not too many candidates do that. So when you say what should we do as a people, I think we need to revisit the Black Agenda Plan. Like I said, I don't remember the official title, but we as a people need to monitor the statements and actions of our president and vice president to ensure that they are keeping up their end of the bargain, because we did our part. We got them in there. You know what I'm saying? There's no doubt about that. We got them in there. So we need to make sure that they uphold their end of the bargain.
Now you're talking about the Black Agenda, Chad. I think they do have a Black Agenda that they came out on their own. I think you can go to the White House website and check that out. I think they came out with during the campaign trail when, you know, he named Kamala his vice president. One of the first things that they did was say that they have a Black agenda. And so I would advise people to go to the White House web and check that out to see what you think and about that situation. But y'all are exactly right. For as a people, we've discussed this many times on our podcast as the people who built this country the country built on our backs. It is time for this country to give us what we're owed. I mean, that's just pure point blank. We have to be, at some point, you have to recognize us as a people, whether it's reparations or some form of reparations, or whether it's free health care or land or something. Something has to be given to us, because they have given reparations to every race of people under the sun. Whether it was Indians or the Irish or the Asian community, they have gotten some type of reparations, but
Jews,
we haven't.
Yeah, Japanese.
So but we haven't, and this is now time. I think a lot of Black folk have been awakened to the point where, okay, we're not going to take this sitting down anymore. We see that the power that we have as a people. We get people voted in the office who didn't have a chance. That was us. That was our people that got Joe Biden into the White House.
And just one quick side note, I'm glad you said that, because for our viewers and listeners, especially the Black people, you have just witnessed firsthand how and why voting is important and why your vote does count.
Yes, sir.
Because if it were not for us, and they've said this on several networks, if it were not for us, Biden's campaign would have been dead and long gone, and you'd have had another 4 years of the previous administration. So you can't sit here and tell me that your vote does not count, because it does. You have just witnessed this firsthand. And if you can't see that, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I just wanted to make that point, Pete, that our vote does matter when we get out there in numbers and make it happen.
All right. Mike, you got anything? I see the thinking cap is on right now.
Malcolm X, look.
Nah, just listening to what Chad was just saying about how a lot of people, you know, think that their vote doesn't matter, when, as you just said, you know, this is a prime example. Don't let people discourage you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole plan, you know, to discourage somebody from trying to do something. That way they stay in control and we don't get any control.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, man, your vote counts, man.
Let's stay on this for 1 second, because it bothers me. Just for 1 second.
Go in, brother.
The voting thing bothers me because I've heard people say, well, we're voting for the lesser of two evils. I ain't voting for no evil, so I'm not voting. Okay, so you'd rather just sit back and just let whatever happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then those are the main people that are complaining about what's going on to our people in our communities, and we need to build our own communities. We need to build our own this, our own that. And I agree. But if we don't vote and try our best to get at least someone close to what aligns to our views and values, then we'll never get where we want to be. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma back in 1921 when they bombed the crap out of it. Look at all of these black meccas that we had. And if for some reason or another, white people didn't like it, so they blew it to smithereens. We can build whatever cities we want, but if we don't have representation in local, state, and federal government, then we will never have true freedom. We can build a city, we can have black businesses and whatever, but if the whites don't like it, you know what? We're going to pass a law to where we're going to tax all these businesses to the point we can't afford to be in business anymore. So we have to vote because we still got to work with the American government, whether we want to or not.
Exactly.
It is imperative. And the thing is, yes, we can work from the inside out, build our communities, but let's also start looking at people who we feel like are capable to run and be in a office position that aligns with our values, that aligns with our morals. Now, I'm not gonna say they're gonna be perfect, but at least for the most part, they're up there doing what we need them to do for us. If we don't have anything up there, then the sky's the limit for them. They can do whatever they want to for us. And another thing with voting, if your voice did not count from the 1600s till now, when we were able to vote, how white folks in the South would ride on black people and intimidate them. They would go to the voting polls with shotguns and dogs, trying to intimidate them from voting. They would ride by their houses and shoot and burn crosses to intimidate them from voting. If you didn't think your voice counted, why do you think people in local governments, especially like in North Carolina, where they were trying to redistrict certain counties so that it would favor the Republicans? So then, no matter what you voted, they would always win. Your vote matters.
Yep.
Again, it's like knowing thyself. They know our vote matters, but we don't. They know who we are and what we come from, but we don't. They know a lot that we don't. But we're in an age now where we don't have to not know anymore. We can go find out. So I don't want to say the word ignorant because that's a pretty strong word. But I really don't like the laziness of our people. That really say our vote don't count, it don't matter. It's gonna go its own way anyway. If that was the case, then the previous administration would have won regardless. And that did not happen. Why did that not happen? Because Clyburn got there in South Carolina and riled up the black base and got them out to the polls. Stacey Abrams and her team, they put off down here in Georgia and got the blacks out of the rural areas and into the polls to vote. And we changed the game. You cannot tell me our vote does not matter. They have spent hundreds of years trying to intimidate us, whether it be by law, whether it be physicality, mentally, to discourage us from voting. And y'all can't see that. And it frustrates me to no end. Stop believing the BS. Our vote does matter.
Yes, sir.
See, glad you're on this subject. To me, it's like when people think of voting, people only think of every 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right. For the president. Mike, Talk about that thing, Mike.
Yeah.
And what people fail to realize is the reason why what you want changed is not getting changed is not because of the president.
Right.
It's because you're not taking control and voting in your local government.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The president doesn't know anything about St. Stephen's High School or Hickory High, but your local government does. And that's what they really don't want you to vote with that. Because if you start getting into your town hall meetings and seeing what's really going on, then you're affecting your right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait till a bill gets passed. You're affecting your right now. And that's what the powers that be do not want. And everything that you need to know about your town hall meetings, different things like that, they're posted.
Funding for schools, what public schools get more money than the other schools get.
It's always public access.
That's right.
My uncle always told me, you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. And that's an old saying, but it's true. Everything that you want to know is public record when it comes to your local government.
Yep.
You can even you can go on Google now and find out when the next town hall meeting is in here.
And that's why they don't lose any sleep when they make the laws that they make.
That's
and when they start taking over and regentrifying, because it's like, hey, we had the meeting, you didn't show up.
Yeah.
The records are recorded, they're out online, you didn't go read them.
Yeah.
You had, every time we make a law, you have X amount of days to rebut or, whatever. And you did. So I'm not losing no sleep because we went by the book. We went by the book. You were just too lazy to go catch it.
Yeah. And my thing is, people are so quick to talk, but slow to listen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody love to complain, but don't nobody want to fix the problem. But go ahead, Pete. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Oh, no, brother. No, you good. No, speak that thing, brother. I'm just saying, I mean, all these points are fantastic, man. Especially coming from you, Mike. You are a veteran. So you fought for the things that we should be doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You were overseas doing doing your tours and things of that sort.
And your little marketing.
Really?
So we could have this right to vote for not only president but in our local communities. And you are exactly right, Mike. It starts with our own local communities. If we as a people become more involved in our own local communities, things will change. Can you imagine 100, 200, 300 black folk at a town hall meeting,
bro?
That's not Atlanta.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? A town that's not Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Where Chad lives, where the outskirts of Atlanta, where Chad live, and we might in the same community and around Hickory. So can you imagine? Just a group of black people showing up at the town meeting? They would not know how to act. They would be like,
half of them gonna be scared.
Right.
So again, Mike, you touch on something that's extremely important with the starting locally with your local vote, because again, like you said, Joe Biden don't know nothing about Hickory. Joe Biden don't know nothing about Newton or even Charlotte or Atlanta. He don't deal with that stuff. We have to start from our law enforcement, from our police chiefs and our sheriffs, and moving up to our mayors and city council people. I mean, that's where we have to start this. And if we can get that movement going in our local governments, good gracious of life, the sky's the limit.
Then it won't matter who's in the presidency.
That's right.
To be honest with you, it wouldn't matter then, because you're taking care of home.
Right.
You're taking care of things and laws that affect you right now. The judges, the DAs, you know what I'm saying? The mayors, the educational board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people that sit on the educational board who decide what curriculum your kids are studying. I guarantee you, we don't know how many go to those meetings, which are public.
Yeah,
they decide what your kid studies. If they study sexual education, if they study evolution, which you may or may not believe in.
Yeah.
But then you wait till your kid get in school, then they come home with an assignment. Oh, wait a minute, we don't believe in this. Why didn't you go to the board meeting?
Two things. Let me say something real quick. I'm not trying to cut you off, but just
no, go ahead.
You know, I think we as a people need to start being proactive instead of reactive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because being reactive gets you nowhere. Because whatever's been done has already been done.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't worried about us marching and having sit-ins. They're not worried about that. You know what I mean? But the other thing I was gonna say about the school that you were just talking about, Chad, was it really bothered me when my children were in school and we would go to what's that, the orientation right before school starts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you would see like me and maybe two other black fathers, two other black parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see the black kids running around in there because their parents done dropped them off and kept it moving, and they come back and get them. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They be at the football game though.
Oh yeah, believe that.
They be at the basketball game though.
Oh, they love the
front
sports
row
now.
Trying to coach. Want to tell the coach what to do.
And those are things that people don't, you know.
I ain't mean to strike a nerve, Pete, but I've seen it.
You see my back curl up when you said that, right?
We know Pete get tired of hearing them sideline coaches.
But you know what? I agree with you, Mike. I remember every orientation from kindergarten up until my senior in high school. My mom and dad would be at the PTA meetings, especially my mother.
Force and Priscilla?
Yes, believe it. And my mom would go to each class and talk to the teacher. And say, if you even think you have a problem with Chad, you call me on my job.
Yes, sir.
See, you don't see that no more in schools.
You
don't see that. And she would give them the number every period during that orientation when you go from class to class and meet the teacher and you get the syllabus or whatever. She would stay after each class and talk to that teacher. I asked mother, this is his daddy.
Yeah.
If you ever have
don't
call me on my job, and here go my number. She did that 7 times for 7 classes. She sure did.
And tell you, I better not hear that phone call ever come in.
You get home, you get the preschool talk. If I got
home.
to come off my job.
Get home in the teacher face. What you talking about at the PTA meeting? We'll look at you.
If I got to come off my job to the school for your foolishness, because in those days when you got off the job, you wasn't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You was losing money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
boy, you take me down memory lane, buddy. Whew, Lord have mercy. Let's get back to voting.
Come off my job. Let me have to clock out my job and come down to the schoolhouse.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. Look, we need to get back on that voting, boy. You bringing up some bad memories, boy. Good Lord have mercy. Because Forrest and Priscilla stayed at the school. Not because I was bad. Not because I was doing anything wrong, but just be on top of things.
Right.
Because they needed to know.
But you know what? I did the same with my girls. And my oldest, she would get so mad and she was like, all the boys in my school know you. I'm like, I know.
I wanted to.
Exactly. I wanted to. And I didn't do anything to embarrass her, but I was just always there. I would help with the mentoring program. I would help with the basketball team. I ain't know nothing about basketball, but I help out where I could just to be around the school so I could know the kids and they could know me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, back to
I know we don't went all the way off the daggone.
And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's all good. Hey, but that voting thing, Chad, is important, as like you said, as for us as a people, because, and same thing with you, Mike. If we start this thing out locally, there's nothing that they can do. If we change the things in our town, in our cities, everything is gonna go up from there. We have to start from the bottom up. Bottom up.
What Drake said.
Yeah.
See, we got caught slipping years ago because when the Ridgeview pool got closed, y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back when we were growing, back in Hickory,
Yeah, Ridgeview. And then they're talking about it takes so many thousands of dollars to repair it because it was so old. Why wasn't we getting the funding? We still part of the city of Hickory, or Ridgeview was still part of the city of Hickory. You had the pool being funded on across the tracks.
Oh yeah, the Y, huge Olympic size.
But the Ridgeview pool couldn't get no love. Why is that? We got caught slipping because we were not going to those meetings, finding out what was going on.
That and another thing, we were not filling out the census.
Okay,
I didn't know that. Saying?
Okay,
because a lot of people say, and I've heard our people say, the census, they just want to find out how many people in your house. They want to find, you know what I'm saying? It's some kind of conspiracy. No, the census is actually letting people know where to delegate those funds.
That's right, for school and for the Y and everything else. You're right.
That's right. So if you're not, if your name isn't on that census ballot, and you're not doing your part of it, you can't complain about you not having sidewalks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you fail to be recognized. You know, and it's just, you know, I can go on days with that one, but yeah, it's people will have you thinking all types of mess if you don't try to figure out the truth about what's really happening.
Right. And again, as we keep for those that's listening and for those that's watching, your vote is important. Your vote matters. It matters in every situation, from locally to federally. It matters. So for those who don't vote or say that they're not going to vote anymore, or whatever the case may be, we implore you to exercise. It's your right. Our people bled and died for this right.
Yeah.
So exercise. I mean, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your ancestors.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Do it for the people. Do it for the people who bled and died for this singular right here. For us to have the ability to vote. Chad, let's move on to the next subject that we're going to talk about today. Now, since the Democrats have full control of the federal government, the presidency, the House of Representatives, the Senate now, what happens to the other side? What's going on with the other side? And we've seen some stuff going on with the news, you know, as far the Republicans bickering within their own, amongst themselves, about
I think,
what's the path forward for their own party. Because we look at some people are just I'm a Trump person. I'm a vote for I'm where he go, I go. Your conservative Republicans who really don't want to ride that train, but are kind of in a bad position that they may have to, because he has 45. Trump has taken so much of their power and placed it in his pocket. They are fearful of losing their seats or being primaried if they don't have his agenda. So where do they go from here?
You know what? I honestly don't know. I just know that every 4 years, when there's a transfer of power, there's going to be a side that's like, hey, we got it made. And there's going to be a side that's going to be kicking and screaming like, you're not going to get it until the very end. But going back to what you're asking, where do the Republicans go from here? I want to kind of say I feel bad for them, but then again, I don't, because they created this monster.
Yes, sir.
So now they got to deal with it. They created it in the beginning. They thought it was cute. And then it grew into something that they can no longer control. So now it's like they really want to get off the previous administration's train. But at the same time, if they do, like you said, they could possibly end up losing their seat in the Senate or the House. Right? Because his base is so strong. They're gonna have a civil war within themselves. That's where they're headed already. it's like the mother eating her young. That's really what's going on.
Yeah.
And I would admonish the Democrats to sit back and grab a bag of popcorn, because this is not your fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is not your fight.
Right.
This is their fight. And the thing about it is they are going to come to a crossroads, the Republicans, I think, to whereas either they get swallowed up by the Trumpers, the previous administration, or they split.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Republicans on one side, and the party that the previous administration wants to create is called the Patriots on the other side. Now, that helps us as Democrats quite a bit.
All right.
Because they've just pretty much split their party. That's where I see them going, the Republican Party. And it doesn't help with this huge probe that's going on by the DOJ because of the riots that took place on the 6th.
Right.
That does not help their case, because this whole thing is still in the Republicans' pot to deal with. And it's a huge negative. And it's going to further drive that wedge right down the middle. And people are going to have to decide which way they're going to go. And now you have talks of people threatening, like physically threatening other people in the Republican Party if they denounce, the previous administration or go that route. So I don't know how true that is. That's the talk. Let me say that. That's the word in the news. But I see the Republicans having a civil war amongst themselves, and it's not going to be pretty. And like I said, this probe that's going on, it's going to go on for a while.
Yeah,
it's going to go on for a while.
I've never seen anything like this, and what's so funny about this, Chad, is and Mike, is that these same Republicans that are kowtowing to 45, they said up front while they were running against him who he was. You can go to the tape. You can see Lindsey Graham say, if he takes control of the party, he's going to destroy the Republican Party,
and we deserve it.
And we deserve it if it happens. That came out of his mouth.
Sure did.
You have the Nikki Haley's, who's now defending him, said it was saying that, if he becomes president, he's going to destroy our party. You got the Ted Cruz's and the Marco Rubios, and Republican after Republican, when they were running against him, they knew who he was.
And that Ted Cruz was a straight coward. Anybody that's going to sit there and disrespect your father and your wife on national TV, and you still ride with this dude, I have no respect for you as a grown man at all.
At all. Yeah, we still fighting. Secret Service or not, we still fighting. You're not gonna
every time I see you.
Every time I see you,
it's gonna be a misunderstanding.
Furniture moving.
Oh, it ain't gonna be no misunderstanding. You're gonna clearly understand why I'm coming at you. I want you to understand.
Furniture moving and everything.
But no, man, they created this monster. Yes, they talked bad about him in the beginning when he came into the political game. But then when they realized how many followers he was getting, they started changing their tune.
Right.
Then it gets to the point where his followers are so dedicated that they have freaking bum rushed the Capitol, not on behalf of the Constitution, but because of what one man said. And that man said that the election was stolen from him. It was not a fair election.
Good thing he wasn't like Jim Jones, make him drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, they
exactly. But they would be physically dead, literally.
Yes, sir.
Literally dead.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, Chad, they are really in a tough spot. And what's so funny to me, yesterday, the minority leader of the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy, flew down to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump. What? What are we doing? Hold on.
Getting advice.
Bro, what? That lets you know how much of
Power.
how much control and how much power he has of the Republican Party. The minority leader of the House of Representatives, Republican McCarthy, Representative McCarthy, flew down to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Trump. That in itself says it all.
And he ain't even in office no more.
Bruh. Excuse me. They are scared. Thank you. They are scared to death of this guy.
They are.
And something else that's going to be really is going to be something to really watch for, and especially in this trial that's coming, this impeachment. Well, this trial after Trump had been impeached for the second time, is how many people and how many of these Republican House of Representatives and senators were involved in that riot.
Oh, it's going to come out. It's going to come out.
Yeah, because you have so many Republicans right now that's talking, hey, man, let's move on, man. That was yesterday, man. Come on, man. Why you bringing up old news, man? What you doing, brother? I mean, that was the other day, man. Why we like folk didn't just run up in the Capitol building. And
they talk, hey, you know what their line is now? The Republican line is, we need to heal, and y'all are being divisive. And this is a time of healing. You ain't saying nothing about healing.
No.
The past 4 years when he been wreaking havoc, you said nothing about healing.
Not damn about healing.
What trying to heal nothing was causing confusion more. Causing confusion more than anything. But
just pulling the Band-Aid on and off.
But the thing is, a lot of it has to do with who was involved in that Capitol riot. See, what happened was that you thought it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And it failed.
Miserably.
Failed miserably. And now your hand is going to get caught in the cookie jar.
The trail is going to lead back to you, because think about real quick, the young lady who stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Did you see the video where she was showing people where to go? How she know where to go in the Capitol building?
Yeah, somebody gave her a map.
Mm-hmm. And then it was something that one of the, I don't know if it was one of the Proud Boys or one of those QAnon people, somebody was giving them instructions to where to go through the Facebook Messenger. They would tell them, so it was somebody inside.
I saw that.
So it was somebody inside the building telling them on the outside where the Congress people were, where they, which door to go in,
what room they was in and everything.
Yeah, what room they was in, all of this. So again, for those Republicans that's up there right now, I think forget all the healing and coming to the unity and all of that. They're trying not to get caught up. They're trying not to get caught up in this trial.
Right.
Because, the majority of them, of course, Rand Paul brought up the situation that it wasn't constitutional for the Democrats to go after Trump because he was out of office.
Right.
So, it's funny when you can't fight on the principle, you try to fight on everything else. So you can't fight for Trump. So we're gonna try to use the Constitution to not have the trial. Nah, that's not how it works.
Nah, bro.
If you think this dude didn't do anything,
why you worried about it?
Fight on the merit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Fight on. You have nothing that you can stand on.
And right. Go through with the case. Be like, well, let's have a trial, because you'll see that he has nothing to hide.
And we don't have anything to hide.
Right.
But they got a lot to hide.
Oh yeah. And it's gonna go to the light. Man, I think by summertime, crap is gonna really hit the fan.
Yeah,
when it comes to this investigation.
Yeah, it's gonna be some. I have a strong feeling that a lot of these Republicans are gonna be resigning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From their seats.
It's gonna be a lot of emergency elections going on in a lot of states. For these resignations.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can see. Because if you're really about sticking to your guns and being following the Constitution and being upright and having some type of credibility, they would be the first, because that's their thing. The Republican thing, credibility and this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada. If you're really about that, you would have been the first in line to say that dude was wrong. He incited those folks to do what they did. And okay, so let's have this trial and let's stand on it. But that's not
what, Pete? Even with the trial, I don't think he's going to get the conviction, because they need 17 Republicans to get the conviction. I don't think they're going to get enough. I would like for them to, but I don't think they're going to get enough. Because a lot of those Republicans are already being intimidated already about this situation.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think you're going to find 17 either. I don't think you're going to find 17 either. But how bad does that make you look?
To be the worst president ever.
And not only that, I'm talking about from these senators, these Republican senators' point of view, that's not going to convict him. What you have nothing, you have no credibility now.
No,
it was bad
especially
enough.
Lindsey Graham.
It was bad enough that you came out of the first trial with no credibility. Now we got video. All they got to do is run the tape.
That's it. He's sitting in the tent watching them act a fool on those monitors. He's sitting there with his family in a tent. He, meaning the previous administration, I ain't even gonna say his name. Previous administration and his family are in a tent. There was somebody in the tent with a phone filming them, and they watching the riots on these monitors in a tent.
No, actually, that was before he spoke.
That was what now?
That was before he spoke. Had his big speech. That was before he had
party.
I thought that was
no. They said that was before. That was the little pre-party before his speech.
Yeah.
That tent.
Okay, my bad. I stand corrected.
No.
Okay.
No, but let me jump on that also, Chad. My thing is this, which further lets me know that this was all a plan. If somebody bum rushes the Capitol, would you not think they would sweep the president away to the Bat Cave, to the bunker? Yeah. He was chilling in the White House watching it on TV. Hold on. Now, you saying somebody has infiltrated the Capitol and you're not going to take the president away? That just further lets me know that this was a plot and a plan. Because any other time, the president is he's the most important. So I don't care where it pops off at. We taking him to the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And something happened in the same town, he going to the bunker.
Exactly.
That long same building.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing, and it don't have nothing to do. It don't have nothing to do with the government. It can be some shots fired off.
Didn't he go to the bunker when Black Lives Matter was up there? Didn't they move him to the bunker then?
And he went straight to the bunker. But he didn't go into the bunker
when they was rioting.
When they rioting in the Capitol. He watching it on TV, wondering why the people that's in the White House not clapping and applauding. What's going on? Man, when they get done with this trial, buddy,
you might not have any Republicans.
I'm trying to tell you. And again, there's no way they can go. Where do you go if you're a sitting Republican? What do you do? Because if you try to stand on the principles of your party, it's not a good look, because Trump supporters are going to kick you to the curb. And if you don't kowtow to Trump,
you have no
support. You have nothing to stand on. Bless you. You don't have anything to stand on, because he has overtaken your party. It is no longer the Republican Party. It's the party of Trump. It's the party of Trump now. So it's gonna be really interesting to watch what they do from now on, and they're already giving you a glimpse of what they're going to do and how they're going to govern from the minority by, like I said, McCarthy flying down to talk to Trump for whatever reason. 45 of the 50 Republican senators trying to get rid of this trial of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're already showing you what they're going to do as the minority leader. They're going to, of course, try to block everything that the Democrats try to put forward. They're going to try to block everything, and everybody that Joe Biden has put that's trying to put into place. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see as this trial in a couple of weeks when this trial starts, if these Republicans start dropping off one by one like flies. Oh, I want to spend. I'm going to resign because I want to spend more time with my family. Whatever. You ain't trying to
hear a lot of that.
Yeah, you ain't trying to catch these years. That's what it is. You ain't trying to catch these years. So,
but even if they do resign, they still face some kind of criminal activity, especially if they were involved in the coordinating and the providing of information of federal government property. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, will they see time in jail? Maybe not. Probation, something. But the fact that they've been caught will ruin their political career.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's amazing to me that group of people and that political party who is all about law and order, who claim to stand on law and order, now all of a sudden don't want law and order.
Well, this is what happens when you get power and you're drunk with power. You see how Trump was so intrigued with Kim Jong-un, how he sits up in his post and the military marches by and he gets to see all of his people, his soldiers and his tanks and all that stuff and everybody,
Right.
Trump fell in love with that. And that's what he wanted. And with his people supporting him, that's what he plans to get. He wants to be a dictator.
Right.
He ran first just to be doing it. And it shocked what out of him when he won.
Yeah, because he didn't want the job.
Nah. But once he got a taste of that power and that influence, he's like, yo, I can't go back.
Yeah, I like this. I like this right here.
What's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. And he got a taste of that power, and he was like, I got to have it.
And I'm going to do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it. They ain't going to do nothing to me.
Look,
I'm impressed. What they going to do to me? They ain't going to do nothing to me. I'm going to run roughshod over everybody. I'm going to call folk out their name. I'm going to fire folk when I want to fire them all. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's like he got soldiers everywhere. All he got to do is say what he want to say. And they own it.
Yeah.
January 6th, prime example.
But you know what?
Take it by force.
It's funny how we as black people knew that this kind of thing existed for years, but nobody wanted to listen to us. I think it was the Washington Post where I read that they interviewed a lot of the black soldiers in the military, and they say, "Are you shocked? That there were so many military people in the riot?" And they was like, "Nah, we see it all the time in the military."
Right.
We ain't shocked. But like now they want to listen. We've been saying it for eons. Nobody wants to listen.
Too late now. Like I said, you created this Frankenstein.
You do.
You created Frankenstein, and now you can, just like in the movie, you can't control him now.
Can't control him.
You can't control him. And again, just like I was telling you guys off air that, I've listened to an interview. It was before the transfer of power to Joe Biden, that they were talking to Trump supporters, and this one old lady was like, "I don't care what the Republicans do. I'm going where Trump go. Whatever he do, I'm doing." So that's what these Republicans are dealing with right now. And like you said, Chad, they're going to eat their own.
Yeah.
They're going to eat their own. And now you have tens and thousands of Republicans in different states, either going independent or going Democrat now. Because January 6th was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I was watching that on the news, and they were saying so many Republicans went Democrat after that, like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. I mean, either went Democrat or
independent. Yeah.
Or independent. Yeah.
Because they were
Yeah.
like, this is the epitome of embarrassment of the party. This is not what we signed up for.
Right. Right. To the point where, I mean, that this dude can call people up here to storm the Capitol. I thought we was about government. I thought we was about law and order. And it's just, yeah, they are in a quandary as a party. And like I said, it's going to be really interesting to see where they go from here, and how much Trump is really going to dictate their platform. Because they're already saying that I think it's Marco Rubio, that they're already saying that Ivanka's going to primary him in Florida. I think in 2022, they said she's gonna try to primary him in Florida. But you steady drinking the Kool-Aid, as Mike said earlier.
But
And
see, that's why this impeachment is so important, because if we can get a conviction, then that would stop him from running for office, period.
Yeah, that's not going to stop his kids from running, but
No, it's not
it'll
gonna
stop
stop
him.
kids.
But it'll stop him for sure. For sure.
But then I don't know if the kids are gonna have as much power as the father.
Their last name is Trump, so yeah, they will.
All
They
they're
will.
gonna do is ask their daddy what he want him to do.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all I have for today's podcast as far as and things that's going on. Chad, you got anything that?
Yeah, man. I
wanna
just
touch on?
want to, kind of end on a light note somewhat. I mean,
A light
we've
skin
broken from
note.
format for a while, so I want to kind of get back a little bit, and I just want to give a spotlight to the young sister. Well, we had to break format. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a crazy man in office. It had to be discussed,
Mm,
and it had to be from our perspective, because a lot of people don't understand. They only get it one way. You know what I'm saying? So they
Right.
need to understand it from a perspective that they don't usually get it from. So
Mm.
I'm cool with that. I can stand on that. But now I do want to highlight a sister by the name of Jennifer King, and she becomes the first full-time Black female assistant coach in NFL history.
Yes, sir.
Washington
Yes,
football
sir.
team announced that on January 26th, I believe, that they hired her as a full-time assistant coach. So I
Big
want to
up
give
to
a
that
big up
sister.
to that sister,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations, sister.
Well deserved. I'm praying for that sister, her success in this male-dominated industry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping she can be a key tool, an important tool to that godforsaken Washington football team, who I can't stand. But she got to start somewhere. So, but I do applaud the ownership, man, for being open-minded.
Right. Right.
And giving her that opportunity to shine.
Right.
And I applaud the coaching staff and the team for being open-minded as well, because it's time.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It's time. And
Yeah.
while we on the spotlight, I want to give a shout out to the brother Mr. Lloyd Austin, the retired Army general who became the first Black Secretary of Defense. And the cool thing I like about that is the Senate overwhelmingly approved Biden's pick for this cabinet position. 93-2 was the vote to approve the West Point graduate to helm the Pentagon. So
Fantastic.
I'm really interested in the two that voted against it, and why they felt the need to vote against this brother. I don't know what they have against him. I'd be interested in knowing. I believe one of the guys was Crawley or Hawley.
And probably Rand Paul, probably. I would
Could be.
assume.
I'd have to research.
Hawley and probably Rand Paul. Probably,
Yeah.
I would assume.
I wouldn't doubt it. But I want to give a shout out to those two
Yes, sir.
African Americans for their achievements.
Yes,
And I'm sure there's many more out there. And over the next, several podcasts, we'll get back to the highlights and lifting up Black folks, because the thing is, we don't hear a lot about it, and if we don't do it, who will?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I know we don't have too much time left, but did y'all hear about the Proud Boys leader? I believe he was a Latino brother, Enrique Tarrio.
Mhm.
He was working with the FBI, and he was arrested on federal fraud charges related to a scheme to sell stolen diabetic test strips well below
Mhm.
market value.
Mhm.
That's how it started. I guess he
Mhm.
became an informant and went undercover to help back in 2013 prosecute 13 people in
Mhm.
2 separate indictments.
So you were insurrectionist and a snitch.
Yeah.
Good grace. Wow.
Oh,
Well, boy,
Takashi
that's
6ix9ine.
good. Great. That's something to put on your resume right
Yes,
there.
sir.
I'm
Enrique 6ix9ine.
I'm insurrectionist and a snitch. Wow.
Don't get no
Yeah.
better than that.
According to NBC Channel 6, a former federal prosecutor in Terrio's case confirmed he aided local and federal law enforcement in the prosecution of crimes ranging from running marijuana grow houses in Miami to heading pharmaceutical fraud schemes. He
Oh,
also
wow.
worked in a covert capacity in a case involving information pertaining to an illegal immigrant smuggling ring.
Mm.
Well, damn.
So
He
they
went all
basically
out.
caught him in being one of the Proud Boys. So if you're gonna be one of these Proud Boys, we're gonna tell all your business.
All of it.
We gonna put it all out there for you. So
We're
so
going to
when you
let them
get
know how proud you are not.
so when you get in there, Nook and Skillet gonna deal with you.
Hot.
And a little pistol starter.
I know, right? They gonna deal with you. They gonna send him to the same prison that he told the folk he told on. Send him to the same prison.
Real quick, did y'all hear about this GOP lawmaker who questioned black hygiene in the contradiction of COVID-19?
Yes, sir. Saw that too. Yeah, we might well go and skip that one because as my granddaughter say, I might say some words. I don't want
He
to say
said,
words.
hold on, I got to touch on it.
Go
He
ahead,
said,
touch on it.
he received
Wow.
heavy criticism from the black lawmakers after his testimony at a committee hearing in June 2020. He, by the name of Stephen Huffman, I guess that's how he would say his name.
It's Steven.
STEPA. Yeah, okay.
Stephen.
Stephen,
Mm.
whatever. He a piece of you know what if you ask me. Here's his quote on that at the hearing when it's dealing with COVID-19 and African Americans. And I quote, could it just be that African Americans or the colored population
Colored.
do not wash their hands as well as other groups, or wear masks, or do not socially distance themselves? End quote. Could that just be the explanation of why there's a higher incidence?
I have nothing to say on that matter because
Pretty lost on that one.
the coloreds got me. I was like, wow.
It's the
Yeah, I was
color.
lost at the colored.
Yeah, the coloreds. Yeah, that's big right there, buddy. Where you from?
They don't even use that term.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me add this little cherry on top, Brother Hunt, Brother Brown. John Fortney, a spokesperson for Huffman, released a statement on Friday, January 22nd, saying the legislator had previously apologized for asking a clumsy and awkwardly worded question. Further, he said in the apology, deserves sincere forgiveness and not the perpetual politically weaponized judgment of the cancel culture.
You counseled yourself, brother. You counseled yourself. Yeah, you counseled yourself.
Anybody in this day and age who gets in front of a public audience who is not a person of color to come out here and say colored people or colored population clearly does not need to serve in the public service.
There you
Because you
go.
are really out of touch.
Way out
And it
of
was
touch.
very disrespectful.
Out of touch. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it, man.
And you just supposed to apologize and we just kumbaya and that's
He's
it.
still driving Miss Daisy, ain't he?
Nah, we not. There's no unity. There's no healing. Nah.
No. Nah.
Not
Hey,
with
look,
colored.
colored people, I already apologized. Can we just let it go?
Yeah.
Exactly. Nah, we good. we good, Bobby. We good.
No. Shouts out to Harriet Tubman. Look like that 20 is gonna be in fruition.
Let's do that one on the next podcast.
Yeah, I got some thoughts about that.
I got some thoughts about that myself, Mike. I got some thoughts about that. We're gonna save that one for next week, y'all.
Yes, sir. Y'all
don't want Harriet?
Nah.
No, we gonna let's save that for next week. That's what we call in the business. That's what we call a tease.
A tease, okay.
Yeah, we call that a tease in the business.
Hey, Mike.
On the streets,
that's what we talk about his little business.
In marketing, that's what we call bait.
Well, we don't have a term like that for project management.
Okay.
Oh, y'all just homeowners associators. That's all that is.
Gentlemen, any final thoughts, concerns?
No, I'm good. I think it was awesome.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Awesome.
Vote, people. Vote. Your vote matters. Your vote matters. For real.
Yes, sir.
I would now like to leave our listeners / viewers with a Bible quote or verse for the week. I'm coming from James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And it reads, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing."
Amen.
Ponder on that.
Word.
Research that scripture.
Hallelujah.
And add a blessing to your life. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. All right. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Be safe. And we are out.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.